What is up, guys? I'm here at the Polar Explorer exhibition at the National Maritime Museum here in Greenwich. Behind me is a portrait of Ernest Shackleton, and above me is a sledge which was used by the dogs for carts, especially of things like food and water. Frank Hurley is an Australian photographer who came on the ship. When he was first asked to come aboard the ship, he was bribed by 25% of the income from the pictures that he took. Behind me, I have pictures of the Endurance stuck in the ice. And also, one of them is of the ocean camp, which is where they stayed before they went off to Elephant Island. And then there's also two pictures of dog sledges. Of course, the dogs are resting whilst he took this picture. Otherwise, it would have been quite hard to do. When the Endurance sank, Frank Hurley had to run into the ship, break open the freezer to get his photos out. And bear in mind that back then, you couldn't just whip out your iPhone and go, oh, I'm going to take a picture of that. And it's already downloaded. What you'd have to do is you'd have to take a piece of glass with a special chemical on it, aim the light from the sun through it in the direction of the picture that you want to take, and then you'd have to develop it, a painstaking process, just to get one singular picture. On Tuesday, the 2nd of November 1915, Frank Hurley wrote a diary entry saying this: I spent the day taking the team to and from the ship to salvage resources. We rescued canvas, tripe, milk, and sugar. Now we have in camp 1 pound of food per man per day for 180 days. I hacked out the side of the refrigerator to try and salvage the negatives, the plates of glass, and bare from head to waist, so no t-shirt on, I probed for the negatives in the mushy ice. The cases, which fortunately were zinc-lined and soldered, were located beneath 3 foot of mushy ice, and practically all were intact. As we returned to the camp, the killer whale broke the ice 20 yards out and startled us all. In the exhibition, it said that Shackleton told him to keep all of the plates, so the pictures. However, in Frank Hurley's diary, it says that he destroyed 400 plates and only kept 150. However, I believe that at first Shackleton told him to keep them all. However, then it weighed down the lifeboats when they were trying to get to Elephant Island. So Shackleton said to Frank Hurley to destroy most of them and only keep a small quantity. Once they were rescued, the photos and film were developed in Chile, and then Frank Hurley went to photograph the First World War in France. In October 1917, Frank Hurley remembered that Shackleton promised him £530, which was a lot back then. So he decided to try and track down Shackleton and get him to pay the money back. On the 13th of October 1917, Frank Hurley made this diary entry. Today I am setting out for an unpleasant task. Shackleton has not paid me £530, an amount he promised faithfully to me already several times. He has also ignored my letter regarding it and is leaving for South America in a few days. I think his intention is to take the advantage of me being in France to slip off. This has compelled me to go to London, dropping important events here in France where every day counts and pursuing him. It is my intention to make the unprincipled blighter sweat for this, and if he's already eloped with my cash, I guess I'll collect it or stop his trip. Though eventually he did get his cash, of course.